Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Journey to a Winning Anyway Life. I am your host, Life Pastor Kyle, and it has been my honor and pleasure to meet you here on Fridays, and I'm here again. We are in such a zone for our life, and it's amazing to be able to gather together and learn and grow and ponder together over some things. So come on in, bring somebody in, like, share, tag someone, let them know that we're on. And hello, Roy Sells. How are you, man? In that truck early in the morning. So yeah, I want you to like, share, and tag someone. Good morning, Manny Saeed. We're just in such an area of perfection that God is doing in our life. Does not mean being perfect, but it does mean that God is perfecting some things that concerns us. And so definitely when we're concerned about our life, we have to prepare for a journey. Hello, Chris Blake. Heal man of God. Tawani Carr Jefferson. I shouldn't put Jefferson, but yeah. Dolores Bell. Good morning. How you doing? Good to see you. Please speak as you come in so we can know that you're here. Hello, Carlos. I see you as well. Enjoyed you yesterday. Always have those good coaching conversations. Brittany Blake. Good morning. Mabel. How you doing? WV Law. How you doing? So I'm going to have you on one morning, man. We could come on and chat together on your way to work or one Friday when you're off. Terrence Bell, Mary Murray, good to see you as well. Danny Henn, Lester Blunt, how you doing, sir? Hope your travels are not as hectic today. So Kenneth Davis, bless you. Eric Trotman, how you doing, man? Ivan Rice, hope all is well with you in that city truck, man. Gotcha, WV. Demita Phillips, how you doing? Hope all is well. Congratulations again. Tisa Collier, good morning. Betty Washington says, she said, all her brothers in Christ. This is not their lie. This is my lie, Betty Washington. It's not their lie. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I said all is well. So listen, I'm really ready to get into the lesson. I don't want to keep you too long this morning. I'm just excited, y'all. I may not sound overjoyed and super excited, but I really am. Sometimes my excitement gets bunkered down in my message or in my lesson. She said, on the way home from work. That's good. Get you some rest. Geraldine Wiley Shelvin. Geraldine Shelvin. I gotta start reading y'all names. I'm so locked on that. I was discussing that yesterday. Somebody said, why do you call everyone's whole name? I said, because in the process of going through this thing and learning it, I learned everyone's whole name. Hello, Minister Tamala Ricks. I see you as well. And so, it was just something I had to get into. So listen, I'm ready to get into it if you are. I'm really ready because I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do some things while you're embracing this morning. Hello, Maria Matthews. She said, I'm on the big screen in the class. Hello, class. Maria's class, how you doing? Those that are gathering together. I have a morning for you. Y'all let me know when you want me to do your morning, and I'm going to do your Winning Anyway lesson from right here for your whole class as they're coming in before school. Not part of the curriculum, just before school. I'll make sure my outline is correct, Maria, so it will not be in conflict with school. So definitely let me know what Friday that will be, and we will make it happen for your students. They deserve that, and so we're happy for them. That's how God does things. Hello, Piggy Lance. Good to see you. Listen, I want to talk this morning. This is the Journey to a Winning Anyway Life. I am your host, Life Pastor Kyle, and I've been coming to you now for I don't know how many years. But hello, Tootie. Good to see you as well. And they said good morning. Thank you, Maria. Let me do this. Let's do it like this. They said good morning, so I'm saying good morning to them. Got it? I'm letting them know they're on my screen, so they're on the big screen, so people see them everywhere. Let them know that, okay? It's simple things. It's funny. The children are so amazing that you can, they appreciate the small things, and so that's very good. Hello, Erin, please. Good morning. Listen, let's talk about this preparing for wholeness. Preparing for wholeness. Hey, Niecy Jones, preparing for wholeness. This is the Journey to a Winning Anyway Life, and we say it all the time, and people don't get it. All we hear is the winning part. Winning, I'm a winner. Everyone attached to me win. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. The winning part is not the difficult part. Good morning, Dr. Julian P. Robinson. Good to see you, sir. The winning, Pastor Julian P. Robinson. The winning part is not the difficult part. Hey, Sarah Price. Good morning, y'all. We good. Y'all like and share, tag someone. Let them know we're on. Listen, the hard part is the anyway part. See, everybody has a life, and everybody has some wins, but it is the anyway part that is difficult, and that's kind of where I want to prepare you for the wholeness of the anyway. We're in a series called Healed and Whole. It being healed, not just being healed, but being whole. And so that's a graduation, because anybody can be healed and keep going through things and get healed, going through things and getting healed. But sometimes you want to have a reset when you're whole. Hello, First Lady. Good to see you, to our law Kyle. To have a reset in your life, that's where you deal with being whole, where God fixes and life fixes everything about you. Situations may be crazy and all of that. For the students in class, it's almost like, good morning, Emma Shelvin. It's almost like you make an A on Monday, an A on Tuesday, an A on Wednesday, and then Thursday you make a C because you didn't study, and then Friday you make another C, and now you're frustrated. But then you take a test on Friday evening before the class ends, and the teacher says, I'm going to drop your lowest grade and replace it with your test. And so your test ends up being one question and you can answer it, and then you make an A. Now you have a B, a B, a B, a C, and a C, and then you drop a C, replace with an A, which makes that other C equal a B. So now you have B's all the way across. It's like a grace. It's a winning anyway. It's what you go against, that whatever goes against you does not count against you. And even though it does count against you, because you've won so much, your life has what's called a balance. And so sometimes you may not always get it right. We don't always get it perfect, and we don't always get it right. But we have to prepare ourselves for what comes next. You cannot get stuck in what was and never deal with what's next. Hello, Naya. Good to see you. And so the anyway part is the preparation part. You know, winning anyway life. It is the winning part is good. The life part is present. It's the preparation part that really gets us sometime, because we want things, but we don't want to prepare. Today we're preparing for wholeness. Most of us can deal with it because you're prepared for a lot of things. I think my wife said it. We're ready, but we're not prepared. We're ready for things we want. We see pictures and we pick out things and we screenshot things because we're ready for what we want. But then when it comes time for the preparation, we don't want to go through the preparation. You're prepared. You're really prepared as far as you can be until, how do I say this? Let me say it nicely. You can be prepared, but you're not really prepared until you can keep your focus under pressure. Here I come. Hello, Trish Wells. Here I come, Geraldine. You're not really prepared until you can keep your focus under pressure. Good morning, y'all. Come on in. For example, when I used to play and ride horses a little bit, I've done like 2 trail rides. But the goal of a horse in a parade, Brittany Blake, the goal of a horse, before a horse can be in a parade, the owner of that horse has to almost shell shock that horse and then bring it back. In other words, that owner has to make sure that horse can hear gunshots, children screaming, bass drums playing, people screaming, and that horse has to keep its focus. Okay, me and my wife had a dog a long time ago. His name was Bishop. So on the papers it said Bishop Kyle. I know. We did that a long time ago. But in training, the goal of that dog, good morning, Canvas Book of Sap. You just missed my horse training. But the dog training, they had to make sure that the dog stayed focused no matter what. And so even though we sent the dog to training, when we left and came back, the dog was mad at us. He was mad at us because we left him, but he was trained. And so the owner would say things and the dog would want to come to us, but he learned to be disciplined and obey the voice that he was trained to obey. My God. And so he obeyed that voice, and then he taught us the words. We would say heel, and the dog would come right to our side and stay there. We would say stay and walk away. It's not until you can keep your focus and obey under pressure. We didn't bring the dog home until he was able to be disciplined enough to obey even under pressure. This is where you sit in your faith as you're preparing for wholeness. You cannot graduate from healed to wholeness in your emotions, in your life, in your mindset, until you are able to produce and stay focused even under pressure. It's not about how we look in social media anymore. Even though it's there, we use it for an advertisement. It's an advertisement, as some of you say. But in reality, you must stay focused even under pressure in real life. Let me help somebody, because you have some people. Watch this now. We're gonna switch up. The pressure comes not always because you've done something wrong, and not always because you've not taken care of something. Sometimes the pressure comes simply because life wants to test you, and sometimes the pressure comes so you're able to see how far you've grown. Okay, how far you've grown. I see you. Yeah, that's it. Obey under pressure. Here I come, Geraldine. Let's go. Some people suffer in silence. Okay? Some people suffer in silence. Yeah, that's a good one to type in, y'all. Everybody, if you have your phone in your hand and you're not driving or getting dressed, type in it, I will obey. What that means is you're saying under pressure. You're saying under pressure, I'm going to obey, period. Whenever you tell life and God that you're going to obey. I know the kids are in school, so I'm keeping it, I got to take care of that. Some people suffer in silence. Yeah, I will obey. I see you, Danny Hand. I see you, Tamala Ricks. I see you, Chris Blake. I see you, Aaron Fleeks. I see you, Nia Bolden. I see you, Tawanda Carr. Come on, students. Those that are watching, shout, I will obey. I see you, Tisa Collier. I see you, Tasha Tootie. I see you. Janelle Howard, I see you. Listen, and when I say I see you, it's because I'm agreeing. Hey, Sarah Price, I see you over there. And I'm going to say something about that. I see Canvas Booker Sap. I see you. I see you, Kenneth Davis. Listen. Some people suffer in silence. I see Dr. Law. I see you, man. Tyrone King. Hey, man. Listen, people suffer in silence, and it's sad because suffering people should speak. I see you, Maria. Thank you. You and your class. I see y'all screaming class. I see Maria there, but y'all, Miss Matthews, but y'all scream, I will obey in the class. There you go. And then get back quiet. Shh, don't get in trouble because of me. I'm going to come see y'all one day. It's sad because suffering people should speak. Good morning, DD. Suffering people, I see you, Eric Trotman. I see you, First Lady. Suffering people should speak. But suffering people have their own mindset apart from the mindset that God's given them. Because let's go. And what they tend to do is talk to themselves and answer themselves in the suffering. Okay. Because you're silent does not mean we don't see you. I'm going to talk to some people. I'm going to finish my lesson quickly. Because you're silent don't mean we don't see you. Often we're just respecting you as you ask us to do. When you're silent and you don't talk, then we respect your silence as you ask us to do. Tamisha Figueroa, watch this. And then when we're silent, watch this, Canvas. When we're silent, then we're punished for respecting your boundaries. Because you're saying, I've said nothing and I'm quiet and nobody's come to my rescue. But nobody thinks that a person that's silent needs to be rescued. Closed mouths don't get fed. So because we're respecting your boundaries, people get punished. Because you have learned, you've not learned how to effectively communicate even when you're suffering. Communication is not always confrontation. Sometimes communication is alliteration. It's revelation. It's not always confrontation. And until you mature and learn how to communicate without confrontation, then yes, you're going to always have an opportunity to feel a certain way. But the reality of it is when people are respecting your boundaries, it's because you've learned not to effectively communicate. And you've not learned how to communicate effectively what the truth is. And so people use their emotions and manipulation. To force a preconceived response from other people. Watch how it goes. Watch this, Brittany. This is how it goes. It goes like this. I'm silent. You haven't said anything. I've been silent for 2 days and you haven't said anything for 2 days. Well, I noticed you were silent, but I respected, I'm a quick learner. So if you're silent, I'm going to stay silent because evidently you want to be in silence. Okay, let's go forward. He who wants friends must first show himself friendly. You got it? Which means you must first initiate or activate. If you don't initiate or activate, my thing is whatever, watch how I flow. Whatever, this is how I prepare for wholeness, move from healing to wholeness. Whatever you initiate, I'm quick with it. So when you initiate it, I got it. I would initiate it. Whatever you do in life is an initiation, meaning everything you do in life has a consequence. We just don't think that people are paying attention to the consequences or to our initiation immediately. And so what we do is we get quiet. Okay, you ready, Roy? I'm gonna go ahead and get your, can I get you right quick, Roy? You get quiet for a long time. Then people say, watch this. People get silent and then say because people don't come to their rescue, people don't care. No, when you prepare and grow and mature, people just don't run to things. People don't think help is needed when somebody is not yelling help. When they're silent, they think maybe you're taking time for yourself. And then people, when they learn that process, that every time I'm silent, people run to me. This is a problem, Roy, people have. They start using it as manipulation. And every time they want attention, they get silent. Instead of communicating and keeping the attention in communication. Instead, they get silent, waiting for other people to come and say, what's wrong? And that becomes a negative connotation. They say, well, why is something got to be wrong? When really all they wanted was attention. And they set up a preconceived response from other people based on what they're not saying. That's confusion. You never get to grow. You never get a chance to have real life communication and conversation to grow in that area. So some people, what they do is, all it would take is a conversation to move forward for everybody. Watch this. They trade their freedom for silence. Hey, Fidelia Jackson Sutherland. They trade their freedom for silence. Because as soon as you get the truth about what's going on, that's freedom. The Bible says it. Truth sets people free. But instead, they remain silent. So truth is not in the future until it's handled. Come on, Betty Washington. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere and I won't be long. Hey, Trishelle. So listen. So as you prepare for wholeness, you have to come out of that area, Manny Saeed, and seek wise counsel from your mentor. Yeah, that's it, Maria. They trade freedom for silence. Good morning, Dr. Sidney. Good to see you, man. I call him Dr. Sidney because he's a barber and he always has to deal with everybody's problems. He said, good evening. He's still asleep. It's good morning, man. We good. So when you prepare from healing to wholeness, this is some things you have to literally do. It's coaching now. I'm back to coaching. I'm through preaching. Okay? You have to seek wise counsel from your mentor. Yeah, you should have a mentor. Seek wise counsel from your mentor to prepare for wholeness. Because if you don't get wise counsel, then you'll make decisions sometime based on your emotions, based on what you did in the past, or based on what's comfortable. You need someone who won't allow you to be comfortable in being who you are, but that can see beyond who you are to who you're becoming. Did I get that right? Then next you have to do something else for me. You have to do something else in my sphere where I am. You have to get a clear anchoring vision of where you desire to go and desire to be. What it means you have to get a vision of it and lock yourself into it. Has to be clear. Lock yourself into the vision of where you're going and let the rest be the rest. You got to get a clear vision of where you're going. While you get a vision of where you're going, you have to get a model of how to get there. Got it? You find someone, when people go to a place to look at clothes, they put clothes on a model. They put clothes on someone else to show you what you can look like if you purchase this outfit. So a model is something that shows you what you can be, pushes you to be what you can be. But you want a model that's successful. Okay? Some of you have friends that you've made your model. And that's incorrect because your friends are already with you. Let's talk about it. You want a model that is successful. I was talking to someone last evening and they said something to me and I laughed. And I said, wow, that's amazing. Like for 25 years, we've been successful at what we've done. Now, we haven't been perfect in life, but we've been, thank you, Maria, God bless y'all. We've been successful at what we've done. We've never been broke. Somebody shout hallelujah. We've never I'm not shooting anybody. I'm saying we've never lost a car. We've never had a car picked up. We've never turned in a car. We've never foreclosed on a house. We've never turned in the car. We've never filed bankruptcy. We've never and here's what success is. Don't get me wrong. It's not bragging. Here's what success is. Success is when you don't focus on the likes on social media. You focus on a person who has sustainability. Sustainability is success. Many people make models. People, I think I said it yesterday to someone. We hate on people we should be studying. You know, we privately talk about people who we should be studying. Good morning, James family. Good morning, Daryl and Tamisha. We silently murmur and complain and talk about people who we should be studying. Because while we're talking about them, they're still moving. They don't know you're talking about them, and sometimes they don't care. They're just moving when we should be studying what they're doing, because there's something from everyone that we can learn from. But when we don't take the opportunity to study and we do more complaining or talking about or hating on them, I like using that term in coaching that much, hating on them or not supporting, we don't hurt them. We only hurt ourselves because we're missing a lesson that's been placed before us. Whether we know it or not, it's been placed before us, and what you do with every lesson determines what you become. So when you pick a model, you must focus on a model that's successful. Focus on sustainability. People say, y'all been married 27 years. Well, ain't nobody perfect. Well, no, we're not perfect. But when you've been married 27 years, we have some answers out of the imperfections that you're going to run into. And if you don't have the right answer or the right model, you may not make it 27 years. Because sustainability is not something people are into these days. Sustainability, that's success. Even the Bible says this: follow those who through faith and patience inherit the promise. It says, follow those who have stood the test of belief and time. You got it? Here, first lady. Belief and time. Follow those who have stood the test of going against. Follow those who understood what anyway means, and follow those who stayed on the path even though they jumped off, broke down, got beat down, got left for dead, but they still have sustained situation. So you have to be careful who your mentor is. You have to be careful because your mentor can determine where you're going. Got it? And so whatever's in your mentor, make sure that watch this man say, make sure that while you are in your mentorship and you're studying another person who has a similar business, vision, or goal, that you don't pirate another person's hard work without their permission. I know what I'm talking about. Make sure you don't pirate their hard work without their permission. A lot of what I have, I got through hurt. I got through pain. I got through being let down. I got through being messed up. Even out of church, I got it because folks said, he ain't gonna do nothing over there. He ain't gonna do nothing. Them folk ain't doing nothing. They just talking noise. And now he with Apostle here. He ain't gonna never do nothing. And God blessed anyway. So I got it honestly. But when people want to steward over your vision, means pirate your vision to make money for themselves, it'll never be sustained because it does not have the anointing or the authenticity on it of where it came from. So it turns something. And listen, let me help you out where we're going. While we're preparing for holiness, y'all. I'm getting your business mind ready. Don't substitute man's ideas and strategies for hearing God. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday. I said, listen. Don't think because you look at the Bible or hear sermons every day that everything is going to be well. You need to read for yourself. You need to read. Okay. Faith comes by hearing. It's going to hear when you read it sometimes. You got to eat for you and not just eat. It can't become a ritual. It can't become something you do just because you say you're doing it. It has to have purpose and personal intentions. So don't substitute because you got a good idea, so you no longer pray. You no longer seek God's anointing for what it is you're doing. You know how people go to God for something and they get what they want, and then all of a sudden now they fade out. And then when God takes it or God shifts it, then they wonder, what I do? You know what you did. You know what you did. You took the time away from God that it took to get it. If you start feeding it with seed, you must sustain that thing with the same kind of seed or even more. You need time to hear from God. Because listen, in hearing from God about your life, about your family, about your pain, about your hurt, about your wholeness, about your healing, when you hear from God, there is a supernatural confidence. Good morning, Vieri. There's a supernatural confidence in hearing from God. People say, but you're just so arrogant. No, when I've heard from God so much and I've watched what God has done, I have a confidence in his voice. And the confidence in his voice overrides the control of your voice. Oh, y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. Yeah, y'all missed that. When people are trying to control and tell you it's not going to work, that's not right, that's not what it is. When you've heard God, my apostle says like this, you counsel with man no more. Counsel means you don't go back and forth when you know what God is saying. So there's a supernatural confidence in hearing from God. It's supernatural, y'all. It really, it's amazing when you hear from God. Because once you get a clear answer from God, you have to shift from healing to wholeness. In this area, you have to get out of the huddle and prepare. Get out of the huddle. We spend so much time in huddles praying and discussing what it is, talking about what it is, saying what we're going to do, but never get out of the huddle praying. You must get out of the huddle and prepare. You prayed enough. It's now time to execute in your assignment. And so at that point, you have to transition from heal to wholeness. And it's hard handling transition because some people take transition as change and they're so insecure in life until anything that has the phrase change on it makes them afraid they will not be able to prosper where they're going. And that's the trick of the enemy. See, I'm an encourager. I will encourage people out of the garbage can into the mountaintop hills. I will push you until you can do it, and I'll tell you why you can do it. But I've come to realize you can't make a believer out of somebody who does not believe in themselves. You cannot make a believer out of somebody who does not believe in themselves. So let me show you how to transition from healing to wholeness. Because it's a maturity move. It really is a spiritual maturity move. Because healing is something we all get over and over and over. You at the altar every time the church door is open. You at the altar every time somebody asks for prayer. You have a conversation. Somebody say, I've been hurt. Oh, no, you don't know how I've been hurt. No, I've been going to doctors. Oh, I've been going 6 months. Well, I've been going 9 months. We now have made our pain our testimony. And there's been no healing. I'm tired. No, child, you don't know what tired is. It's our conversation. And now we glory in our tribulation. And we don't glorify God. We glorify ourselves. So here's where the spiritual maturity changes in healing and wholeness, where it takes the maturity. You have to get in your mind that no matter what happens, I want to tell you, I want to prophesy and instruct you. No matter what happens, don't panic. See, that's the first part of handling transition. No matter what happens, don't panic. Because the only way that you're moving from healing to wholeness, okay, let's be spiritual. Everyone who Jesus came in contact with, he healed. Yeah. He healed or answered or gave instructions. Everyone, however it is, hey, Deja Young, he healed or whatever it is. Watch this. But everyone who really sought after him, they were made whole. Their faith made them whole. Their effort made them whole. So here's what it is. Once you're in a position to transfer from healing to wholeness, you're already in position with God. So no matter what happens, here it is. Don't panic, because God is with you. Don't panic. God is with you. Now, you can either wait for God to lay hands on you, or you can pursue him with your... This is where, if your heart's not right, you're never going to make right mistakes. You're going to always take one step forward and 5 steps back. Because out of your heart flow the issues of life. Is why it's important to keep our heart saturated and covered and clear in God. And clearing God does not mean clearing people. Because oftentimes we judge people. Hey Sharon, I don't know how you doing. God bless you. We judge people. And sometimes God is judging you on how you handle people. Let's go. So no matter what happens, don't panic. God is with you. The question is, where are you placing God in your life? Is God a byproduct, or is God the head of your life? Are you sitting by silent, waiting on God to lay hands on you? Or are you reaching for him? Hey Allison, good to see you. See, when he has to reach for you, you have to wait. When you're reaching for him, there's no more delay. Jesus was not paying attention. He was going through a crowd. And one with the issue of blood, she reaches for him. She touches him. Which means at a point she got tired of bleeding, tired of waiting, tired of being in transition, tired of going from healing to wholeness. She reaches for him. And when she reached for him, she was made whole. You got to be reaching. He's always present. But where is he present in your life? No matter what happens, don't panic. 32 minutes. I got to go, y'all. Listen. So listen. So in not panicking, you must stay focused spiritually. You can lose it all, in the natural. I don't know how to handle this job, this process, this piece, this money, this budget, this relationship. I don't know anything about it. But God, I'm going to stay focused on you. You lead me, you guide me. Most people, I said Wednesday, will not reset their life. Resetting means, hey, I need a minute because I'm off with God right now. Let me get to God because I can't handle my children right. I can't handle my husband right. I can't handle my wife right. I can't handle my job right. I can't handle money right because I'm not right with God. The problem is we try and handle things without handling things in order. And anything you handle without order will never be in order. It may get handled, but being out of order will still cause you to be, here's the word, overwhelmed, stress. And that's where healing it runs outside this. It runs away from us. Because if your mind doesn't get healed, the real reality of your mind, then everything else is out of order. Got it, Kenneth Davis? That's good. Did I do it right? Did I get it right? I'm just trying to help somebody. She said, this was on my mind the time I woke up. Come on, wait, I'm glad you're here. I'm finna get through now. Listen. Because I'm learning more and more. I'm learning. Let me tell y'all something. Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, just say yes. I'm going to say something on social media. Come on. You can hear me, just say yes. And I'm going real quickly. I promise you I won't be long. I'm helping Canvas. Thank you, Canvas. Thank you. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Hey, Mama Bryn, good to see you. Listen, y'all. I've learned more and more. True communication should not be handled through social media. Let me show you how, hey, Bronx Galilee, listen, let me show you how strange this is. The transition of healing and wholeness. Social media is not the same as email. People can email something and kind of get a feel of where you're going. But for some reason on social media, the devil will remove the tone of your voice. I got it. God gave me the answer. Because on social media, you read, okay, don't be mad. Okay. Don't get mad at me. Y'all tell me something nice and kind after I say this. Tell me something real nice and kind, because I don't want you to get mad at me or get offended. Listen, when you read something, you hear your voice. I'm coming, Geraldine. When you read something, you should hear your voice. The same way you read the Bible, you hear your voice. You don't hear God. I said last week, we know the word, but we don't know God. We read the word and then we judge ourselves. Come on, Aaron Fleeks, real facts. We read the Bible and we hear ourselves. And then we know that that's not possible for us. Hey, Mama Brand. So therefore, since it's not possible for us, we don't believe what we read about him. Let's go forward. Yeah, Geraldine, it's more than perception. It's more, she said perception. It's more than perception, because here's the deal. When a person types on social media, when that person types, they have to get in their real self to type. So when they're in their real self to type you, when you type back, they're still reading in their real self. So they read what they read in the tone that they perceive it to be. Yeah, I guess it is perception, but theirs. And then when she said social media gives people an audience to feed their feelings. No, I'm okay. That's perfect. That's perfect, Tisa. I'm not referring to that. I'm not talking about social media. I'm referring to communication. I'm saying how we communicate, not just on social media. I mean inbox, DM, sometime text, anything that doesn't allow you the full opportunity, like email, to type it all out or make a phone call. When you don't do that, your emotions and the tone of your voice gets muddled by the emotions of the person hearing it. And you're right, social media does give people an audience to feed their feelings. The problem is the feelings that they're feeding are not authentic. They are only opinionated. They're not factual. Because whenever you feed your feelings, you must make sure when you feed them that you're feeding them a healthy meal, number one. Number two, you must make sure, I have no notes on this, make sure you're feeding your feelings a healthy meal, number one. Number two, I see you, Tisa, that's a good, a healthy meal, number one. Make sure, number two, that you're eating because it's a balanced meal and you're not just eating because you're a glutton. You know, we eat stuff that sounds good and look good, but we don't qualify for it. And then the other reason why they feed their feelings is because, again, let's go back to the beginning of it. People suffer in silence. And so they don't say nothing, but they'll agree with every post about it. And the funny part is the devil has got you where you start agreeing. And we don't understand that agreement is so dangerous. You can say nothing, but if you share it, you're taking ownership. Your name is on it. Your name is attached to it. You have contract. There are contractual rights for the enemy to say you agree with it, and now the devil can enter into it based on your effort and your agreement. Oh, hey, Mantra, good to see you. And so what I'm saying is, in text and all that other stuff, the person can only hear through the level of their wisdom or understanding. They can't always determine your voice. They can't determine your outcome. They can't determine what you're really thinking or feeling, so they use their own. Now that whole conversation goes into an assumption. Point blank. Communication should not be through social media unless it's short and understood. That's it. Because for some reason, email, and that is totally different. And people have not learned it, or they've learned it, but now we're so steeped in what's called convenience. We do what's convenient. Well, convenience decreases value. Watch. To go and have a real meal may cost you a couple of $100 for two people. It's healthy. It's salad. It's it's a starch. It's a vegetable. It's water. It's tea. It's meat prepared at the right temperature. They have not cooked all of the nutrients out and given you a piece of dead cow to feed your body. Good meal. But convenience seems easier. Have you spent $10 at Chick-fil-A to get a burger and keep driving, not knowing that convenience costs more later? Y'all got me. I gotta go. So what you have to do is prepare for wholeness in a whole different way. That's why the reset's important. The reset, but you can't reset without communication. You can't go into a corner and say, I'm not talking because I'm resetting. That's not how that works. That's not maturity. I'm not going into that. I'm not discussing. I've already said it. You know how to handle it. You should know how to handle it. If you don't know how to handle it, then I'm not talking to that level of people right now. I'm talking to people who are trying to go. So what do? I get a vision that comes from God. I get a vision that's by faith. Because your vision of life, not just your business, your vision. Good morning. Good morning. I see Facebook users. That's Denai or Terrika. We'll get it. Listen. Your vision will require your focus. I'm not even going into it. It'll require your focus. Your vision, you got to get focused and stay focused. Your vision will require your finance. You're going to have to find a way to be consistent in your money, that you're able to invest in yourself. Don't ask me to invest in you when you don't invest in yourself. Don't do it. Number 3, your vision will require your faithfulness. Why? Because when you are faithful, the rest is on God. Bible says if you be faithful over little, he makes you rule over much. Once you have your focus, once you have your faith, once you have your finance and you are faithful, the rest is on God. It's on God. But you have to still work on. As you're shifting from healing to wholeness in your business, in your life, in your family, your finance, and your friends, relationships, you have to shift some things. You have to shift your mindset. Yeah, to a winning anyway mindset. Not the winning, not the mindset. The anyway. It's the anyway that keeps you focused. You have to prepare for wholeness. You have to shift your mindset. You have to shift your motivation. Don't allow anything to stop your motivation. Don't allow nothing to shift your momentum back. And then you have to go into wholeness in manifestation. What it means, God starts doing things that are based on your manifestation. It's based on your tomorrow, not your yesterday. It's based on who you're becoming, not who you were. And so here is the transformation you have to get ready to shift. You have to be honest with yourself about how much you can take. See, people with an S on their chest bother me because you can't have an S on your chest and be crying. I can't stay. I can't stay because this kind of talk doesn't help people. It goes so far to help, then people start getting offended because they can't take. Again, number 1, how much can you take? How much pressure can you take before you crack? If you don't know what that is, you will take on too much and then blame everybody for putting it on you. When all you had to do was be honest with yourself. Number 2, the way you find out how much you can take, number 1. Number 2 is you have to know what your limits are in every area. I'm good at this. I can take more of this and less of this. You have to know what your limits are. I know once I reach my limit, I got to take some time back. I got to back up, pull back, and do it differently. Number 3, you have to know what your triggers are. Because if you don't learn your triggers, you have to know the enemy already knows them. And so he will send people to pull your trigger at the wrong time. And if your trigger gets pulled at the wrong time and you respond out of your emotions at the wrong time, you can ruin your whole life, your whole business, and everything because you allowed something or somebody else to pull your trigger. You have to know what your triggers are. So when you see that thing happening, you got to grab yourself. I'm moving from healed to wholeness. I'm not responding that same way again. Number 1, how much you can take. Number 2, what your limits are. Number 3, what your triggers are. Number 4, what the business of your life is. What is the business of your life? Let me say it. Stop trying to impress people, making people think you really have a business and you're doing successful and well when your life is garbage. I'm not referring to judgment. I'm referring to you have no fruit. You have a huge tree, but no fruit. In fruit-bearing season. I'm not referring to your career. What is the business of your life? I'm not referring to what you went to college for, what you have a degree for, and how you pay your bills. What did God put you in the earth for? What was God's reason? Not the reason you settled for. And number 5, the last thing for this area. You ready? Who are you really under pressure? Who are you really under pressure? I mean, for real, who are you really under pressure? Who are you? I know who you are at church. I know who you are. I know who you are at church. I know who you perceive to be on Instagram. And I know you're somebody totally different on Facebook. And I know on LinkedIn, you're somebody totally different. I know all that. But who are you under pressure? Because who you are under pressure determines how much pressure how much business you can handle. Come on, Terrence. I can give you $10,000 worth of business. But if I know that you have the potential under pressure to ruin 4 other clients that I've given you or we're working with, then I'm not going to put you in the area where I'm making $100,000 and then you blow up and blow it all for me because you won't be honest about who you are under pressure. You try to take on more. I'm going to help somebody real quick. You try and take on more to impress people who you quote unquote admire. But you must realize real admiration is because of the real you, not the you that's not authentic. I admire people because of who I see them becoming prophetically, which sometimes can be unfair because what you do doesn't impress me. It's who you're becoming. And when I see you becoming the opposite of what you were created to do based on what's easy for you, based on your anointing, then I'm not going to cheer you on because I'm not going to cheer on what's not in God's eyesight. I'm a seer. So when I can see what God is doing and you go against that, I will back off from you because I'm not a control freak, nor am I a witch. So I'm not going to control you. I'm going to let you have your way because you won't let God have his. So you have to be honest about who you are under pressure to yourself and stop taking on things to impress people who can't validate you anyway. God needs to validate you first, and then you validate yourself and let everybody else join your party. Okay? 3 questions and I'm done. Here are next level questions for preparing for wholeness. 3 questions. Write them down, type them out. We got to go. Question number 1. How do I get control over my life? It's for business, and let me tell you how you get control of your life. How do I get control over my life? That's a question I know people ask all the time, so I'm asking for you. How do I get control over my life? By surrendering it. Sounds funny, huh? How do I get my life? By giving it back to God. Thank you, Miss Ricks. I see you. In the spirit, by surrendering it. He who seeks to save his life shall lose it. He who seeks to lose his life shall find it again for my sake. You got it? What he says is, if you try and make your own life, you're going to lose all you're trying to work on. But if you ever seek to give him your life, he'll make sure you have one. Here's the business answer. How do I get control of my life? 2-fold answer. By not only focusing on the money. I get control of my life by not focusing on just the money. I focus on the heart of being an answer and not just the money. The money will come. Gotta go. Number 2. How do I put out my very best? How do I consistently put out my very best? It's in the answer. Only put out your very best by ignoring negativity. Don't change because negativity is negative. Always put out your very best. The reason why people think we got it all together is because I don't put out negativity. I don't put out all of what I go through. I don't put out, when I do, I teach it after the fact and show you what I got from it, which makes a bunch of people just want what I got, but don't want to go through the process of what I went through. So I put out my best by ignoring negativity. And I'm wise in what I put out. You got it? You don't just put out a bunch of stuff and expect it to do something. It's like going fishing, just throw it out there. No. You put out your very best by ignoring negativity. Number 3, last one. How do I leave my name in history? How do I create a legacy of winning anyway? How do I go from healed to wholeness and leave a legacy of who I am? Here's how you do it. By doing what God created you to do, in spite of what everyone else is doing. Doing what God created you to do, in spite of what everyone else is doing. Not stressing over how they do what they do, not tripping on what they do, not comparing yourself to doing what they do, but simply doing what you were created to do. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And you can't do it cutting down other people. God won't lift you up like that. You create a legacy by being the best you that you can ever be, because you're the only you that you are. This is how God shifts you from healed to whole, because once you get whole, everything you've been through simply becomes a testimony that you stand on. Now, you can't tell everybody your business. It's not their business. Okay? You can't tell everybody your business. You can't go through, I think y'all should no. You have to simply find the opportunity. God will bring people in your life, set you up, and you'll be able to testify and say, this is where I've been. This is how I got through. This is what it was. And God was faithful to me. And then you'll build confidence in them. Now watch this. You build confidence in them. Watch this. You'll build confidence in them. Watch this. You will build confidence in them to trust God, not just you. Here's somebody. Well, Pastor, you always talking about obeying the prophet. I'm only trying to give you the principle. I'm never trying to tell you to trust, do what Pastor say. No, I'm trying to get you to obey the principle God is setting. Like we're right now in the Healing and Whole series. And God's dropped something in my spirit and some medical people in my spirit. And I have a product right now that's going to help some people get rid of gut issues in a holistic way without having to put medicine in their body. Okay, Facebook cut me off for that. And God says, I'm doing it because you're in the Healing Whole series. He said, it's okay. Those that won't trust you cannot receive, because they will not press their way through the crowd. They won't press their way and they won't reach for you. They reach for Jesus. No. He left us here with the Holy Ghost. Greater works shall ye do. Jesus is not finna walk in the earth for you to reach him. God says, I give you a principle and a process and somebody for you to reach. Why? Because it humbles you and makes sure your heart is ready when you reach to receive what's already in. The process is where we are, y'all. As you're preparing for wholeness, I want you to get yourself ready. Mind, body, soul, business, money, family. Come on. If you're not focused forward, you're really not focused at all. But the bad part is you're focused. You just focus backwards. You can't spend another day focusing on your pain. You can't spend one more day focused on what you lost. You can't spend one more day worried about somebody who's really not worried about you. Because if they were, they wouldn't be silent. If they really were worried, when you worry about somebody, you check on them. Old people. Call and check on so-and-so because you're worried about them. When you have the power to not do so, you need to ask yourself, where does the power come from to not submit to what I think? Where does that power come from that restrains me from not being free? So they trade their freedom for silence. As we're now preparing to go from healed to whole, I'm so excited for the journey to a winning anyway life. Anyway, which means every area of our life goes through it anyway. How you get through your anyway determines what happens in your life. Look, I'm Life Pastor Kyle and I'm out of here. It's been amazing today just to be on with you and join with you and push you to a level of wholeness in your life. Look, First Lady's going to preach Sunday. I don't know what she's preaching, but I know it's going to be amazing. Drop in with us on Sunday. 10:15 will be prayer. 10:30 starts our service. If you can't be in the building, be online. It's going to be amazing. But right now, don't go another day this weekend worried about what was. Focus on where you're going in God. Your wholeness is right in front of you. Yes, you've been healed. Now it's time to step it up and walk into your wholeness. That's something great for you. And you need both your hands and your heart to hold what God's going to give you. You can't grab it with one hand. You need both your hands and your heart. because it's going to be a whole situation, not just healing of this or healing of that or healing of this. No. You need the whole part. You need all of what God's going to do. Prepare yourself for everything God's going to do and watch what God does. I've said it many times before and I'll say it again. No matter where you've been in life, no matter how difficult it's been, look, this is the journey to a winning anyway life. I'm telling you, personally, prophetically, and naturally, I'm here as a signal and a sign. You can win anyway. Go ahead. Win anyway. Don't let the pressure of life get you down. It's Friday anyway. So go right ahead. Decide, I will win anyway. Type that in the chat. I'll see you later. God bless. We'll see you soon. Peace.